Hello, Annav. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
All right, everything good? Any doubts from the last class?
No, sir.
All right. So remember everything, right? The vacations, the class is happening after 2 weeks. What is function? What is relation? The domain, range, everything. All right. No need for me to revise. Today, what we are going to start is equal functions. All right. If two functions f of x and g of x are given, all right, if they have given you two functions, all right, Fahad is also here. Hello, Fahad. Am I audible? Fahad, your voice is not coming.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you remember everything, right? Domain, range, functions, relations.
Yes, sir.
All right. Today we're going to start equal functions. If two functions are given, f of x and g of x, all right, and they're asking you if they are equal or not, then what you have to check? You have to check domain of f of x must be equals to domain of g of x. All right. Domain of f of x must be equals to domain of g of x. Range of no codomain of f of x must be equals to codomain of g of x. And there is a third condition also. For every f of x, for every x, f of x must be equals to g of x. What this means? See, domain you know how to check, right? Domain of f of x and domain of g of x you can easily check. Codomain you can easily check. What is the third scenario? Third scenario means suppose I find f of 1. The value I get when I put x equals to 1 should be the same value I should get when I put 1 in g of x. Is this thing clear? 1 should be related to the same element in set B. Right? If this is the function f of x, 1 is related to a, then in g of x also 1 should be related to a only. This thing is clear?
Yes, sir.
All right, please note it down, the three conditions for equality of functions. You cannot just look at the function and say yes they are equal. You have to analyze these three things. All right. The third line also means that the graph should be equal, exact graph. All right. So please note it down. Done, everyone?
Yes, sir.
All right, write down the question. Let, all right, Fahad. Let a equals to 1 comma 2 and b equals to 3 comma 6 and f is a function from a to b given by f of x equals to x square plus 2 and g is a function from a to b given by g of x equals to 3x. Then check whether f and g are equal functions. All right, I'll give you some time to solve this.
So they're not equal functions.
All right, both of you have solved this. Arnav, you answered right.
Yes, sir.
All right, Fahad, you are there.
Yes, sir. They are not.
All right, have you solved this?
Yes, sir.
So what is the answer? Not equal. Arnav, can you tell me why they are not equal functions?
So because for all fx, gx is not equal. Like if we put the value of 3 in both, in fx we get 11 and in gx we get 9. It's not equal.
Absolutely right. But if I ask you what is the domain of f of x, Arnav, what is the domain of f of x?
So I didn't check that. I just checked the equality.
See, to check equal, I'm see, listen to this again. No matter how much your intuition tells something, you don't have to listen to that. Specifically in this case, when you have to check for equality of functions, always look for these three things. Domain of f should be equal to domain of g. This is the first condition. Second condition is codomain of f should be equals to codomain of g. All right. Third is for every x in domain, right? For because you cannot put any value which is not in the domain, right? Domain is the definition of domain is that. So for every x in domain, f of x must be equal to g of x. These are the three conditions you must check. Even if one fails, they are not equal functions. All right, enough.
Yes, sir.
Always follow this. Fahad, this is clear.
Yes, sir.
So please, I'll give you 2 more minutes. Solve it again. All right. I need you to check for three conditions. All of these three. All right. Take 5 minutes. This is class 11. I'm sorry. Are you unknown? Are you supposed to be in this class? Have you solved this? Enough, Fahad, have you solved this?
Yes, sir.
So how to check what is the domain of f of x?
Sir, 1 and 2.
1 and 2. And is it equals to g of x?
Yes, sir.
So we can say this is the domain of g of x. Now codomain of f of x?
3 and 6.
3 and 6. And is it equals to g of x? Codomain of g of x?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So two conditions are equal. What is the third condition? For every x in domain, that means for every 1 and 2, if you find f of 1, you should get that this is equal to g of 1. So is this true or not?
Yes, it is.
So this is equal. Now f of 2, is it equals to g of 2?
Yes, sir.
So we can say for every x, f of x is equal to g of x, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So these are two equal functions. All right, enough?
Yes, sir.
Even if this clearly looks that they are not equal, but according to the definition of equal functions, they are equal. All right.
Yes, sir.
Now, if I had changed this a and b, if I had put integers, then obviously they would have been not equal functions, because if you put 3, 4, and so on, they will not be equal. That is why they have given only two elements in the domain. All right, enough?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Fahad.
Yes, sir, I got it.
All right, very important. All right, next question. Let f be a function from z to z. Z means, what is z?
Integers.
Integers. The function defined by f equals to n comma n square, where n belongs to z and g equals to n comma mod n square. Do you know about modulus function?
So they will be
Sorry,
equal.
you have already checked the answer. What
Yes, sir,
is
they will be
modulus
equal.
function? Modulus function. First, let me explain what is modulus function. Anyone knows what is modulus function?
So we take the positive sign.
Absolutely right. If I put -4 in modulus, that is 4. If I put 5 modulus, that is 5. We get absolute values, right? So Fahad, you are saying they are equal functions. Why is that? Again, I'm telling, be careful in this type of questions. Don't just judge the questions by looking at that. Like n and n square, there is no difference, right? But in many cases, there can be differences. So please check all these three conditions. Domain should be equal, codomain should be equal, and f of x should be g of x for every x. All right, I'll give you a few minutes. Make a habit of this. All right, have you solved this? Now, Fahad, have you solved this?
Sir, I'm still solving.
Still solved. All right. And now you don't have to check for every element, right? You just have to look for the patterns. See, in the
Yes,
previous
sir.
question, right? In the previous question, we just had 2 elements. We could check for each element. But in here, we have to check for like every integer. So you can just deduce the patterns. All right. Fahad, what about you? Not here, I guess.
So I think it will be.
Sorry,
So it will be equal.
it will be equal. How can you explain?
So because the domain would be same.
Right, domain we can see. Sorry,
All integers would be the domain.
absolutely right.
And then the codomain would also be the same.
Right, so
Yes, so
codomain
they
is
will be
also
equal.
equal. Right. Now, third condition, Fahad, how can we check?
So for every value, if you try from 1 to 3 or 1 to 5, it will be fulfilled for every value.
But you have to, how do you show this? Right, see, in this type of question, integers does not mean 1 to 5, right? Integer
Yes, sir,
means
because mod will take the positive value. Like if we take -2, then the square of mod of
absolute,
-2 would be
absolutely right.
4.
So what you can do, you can write let C be a value, be an integer, right? Which is more than 0, positive. So you can show this for C, right? For positive value, both are equal. Then you can take C equals to 0. Then you can take C less than 0. For all 3 cases, you can show that all 3 are equal. Then they are equal functions, right, Fahad?
Yes,
Right? Just knowing the answer is not enough because of education system, right? You have to know how to write down the answer also. All right, enough. This is clear.
Yes, sir.
All right. And in the starting, please make a habit of like writing the steps. Even I don't want you to write like 100 steps, but when you do this in starting, your mind gets structured, right? So that is a good thing. Next question. Find the domain for which the functions f of x equals to 2x square minus 1 and g of x equals to 1 minus 3x are equal. All right, this is the question.
So we just have to find the domain, right?
Yes.
Okay, sir. So I could only find -2 as the domain.
Right? How we can solve this? Can anyone tell me the steps? What to do here?
So put values of x until the answer comes equal.
All right. So how
Hidden
many
trial
values
method.
can we check? Hit and trial method. All right. Like the thinking is absolutely right, but not the process, right? Because how many values can you check, right? Enough. But
Yes, sir.
if you remember previous class things, if you have 2x minus 1 and x plus 2, give me a second. One note is hanging. So, all right. And x plus 2. If you had to find the common values here, what did you do? You put them equal, right? 2x minus 1 equals to x plus 2. And you wrote x equals to 3. For x equals to 3, this and this are equal, right? And
Yes, sir.
so you can do the same thing here. To find the common x, we can say f of x must be equal to g of x, right? For every x, f of x must be equal to g of x. That is our condition. So if we put 2x square minus 1 equals to 1 minus, how much is this? 3x, 1 minus 3x. And if you find the values of x here, you will get the common values, right? Enough.
Yes, sir.
All right. So now you can solve this. And Fahad, this is clear.
Yes, sir.
So please solve this equation and tell me the answer.
So x is equal to -2 or x is equal to 0.
Absolutely right. X equals to 0. Are you getting x equals to 0? Absolutely sure about this?
Yes, sir.
Let's see. X equals to 0 is not an answer, right? Because see, if I put x equals to 0, this is not a solution for this. So what we can do here, this is 2x square minus 4x. So plus 4x minus x
minus
minus 2
x
equals to.
minus 2 is equal to 0. Yes, sir, I did the same.
So let's see here, taking 2x common, x plus 2 minus 1 common, right? So x plus 2.
Yes, sir.
So x plus 2 and 2x minus 1 equals to 0. So x equals to minus 2 and x equals to half. Now are you getting 0? Enough. Right?
And that's a
Means,
calculation error.
so please see, if you did this much correct, then you have to be really careful, right? Solving the question.
Yes, sir.
So if you like make one mistake, then 1 marks is gone. So x equals to minus 2 and half is the answer. All right.
But sir,
Yes, sir.
minus so 1/2 won't be included, right?
Why not?
So because it says all integers.
No, they are not saying any integers, right? Find the domain for which.
It was for the previous question.
Right, that was the previous question. Right, that is why I'm saying always write the steps initially, at least when starting the chapter. We always try to write the steps, right? So that our mind calculates in that way. But if you skip steps now, then you might skip the concepts also. So please try to write down the steps. Let's solve another question. This thing is clear, right? What we did here.
Yes, sir.
All right. Is G 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 5, and 4, 7 if function if this is described by the formula g of x equals to alpha x plus beta, then what values of beta and alpha should be assigned? All right, very easy question. Try to solve this.
So what is that word? Is a second line, second word.
This function, this is a
Okay,
function or not?
Okay, sir.
So what's the last word? Should be
Assigned, like what values of alpha and beta should be assigned here? See, Anna, are you solving this?
Yes, sir.
All right, how to solve this? See, first, if you have to check if this is a function or not, I hope you remember that example. For this an example, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 3, 5, and 7. So 1 is related to 1, 2 is related to 3, 3 is related to 5, 4 is related to 7. So we can see, yes, all of these are connected and only singularly connected. So this is a function. Now, if this is described by this relation this way, then what is the value of alpha and beta? Very easy. You have this many
Sir,
examples. Mhm.
alpha and beta are alpha is 2 and beta is -1.
How to solve?
So I used it as in I made two equations. If x is 1, then alpha x plus beta is equal to 1.
Absolute right. We can write g of 1 is 1,
Yes,
g of 2 is 3, and g
yes,
of
sir.
3 is 5, and g of 4 is 7. So you can use any of two equations and solve, you can
Yes,
get
yes.
alpha. Right? Fahad, this is clear? Fahad, is this clear?
Sir, no.
Not clear?
Yes, sir.
Uh, g of 1 is 1, we know, right? If you put 1, then you get 1. So g of 1 is 1. So instead of g of 1, what you can write here? Alpha into 1 plus beta equals to 1, because g of 1 is 1 means x equals to 1. If you put in this equation, you will get the value of 1. So we can write alpha plus beta equals to 1. Now you can take any other equation. G of 2 is equals to 3. So alpha into 2 plus beta equals to 3. So 2 alpha plus beta is 3. So you have two equations. This is 1 and this is 2. Solve these two equations, you'll get the value of alpha and beta. All right.
Okay.
So Fahad, are you getting alpha equals to 2 here? Yes, alpha is 2 and beta is -2. Right. This answer is correct. Fahad, this is clear, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Note it down. Then move on to next question. Given a equals to -1, 0, 2, 5, 6, and 11. B equals to -2, -1, 0, 18, and this is 28 and 108. And f of x equals to x square minus x minus 2. Is f of a equals to b? This is your question. All right, try to solve this one. They are saying if we take a as the input, do we get b as the output?
So what is this? If FA is equal to
B.
Okay.
Right.
So what do we have to find?
They've asked you if is f of a equals
Okay,
to b.
is
Right? This is
okay.
solve this, everyone.
Yes, sir.
So
So
what
I
is the
just want to
answer?
ask,
Mhm.
uh, should all values of B come like as a result or for it to be true, or if like all of most of them come as a result, it's okay.
Most of them, if they come, is it's okay, right?
Let's
All
see.
of A
Then
should
it's
be
true.
all of A should be connected to at least one element of B, right?
So if it's connected to 2,
If one is connected to 2, remember this.
if two elements of A are connected to one element of B,
That is okay, right?
that's okay, right?
One father has 2 sons. That is completely fine, right?
Yes, sir.
So I hope this is clear. I don't have to solve this, right? You just have to check f of
Yes,
-1, f of 0, f of 2. And Fahad, this is
yes,
clear?
sir.
Yes.
All right. Let's solve another question. Let f of r to r be given by f of x equals to x square plus 3. Find x such that f of x equals to 28. And second part is pre-image of 39 and 2 under f. All right, solve this one. And today your class is of 1.5 hours. From now onwards, the classes will be of 1.5 hours. All right.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
We solve this one.
So what is the second question?
Find the pre-image of 39 and 2 under f. That means in this function, find the pre-image of 39 and 2. All right. What is pre-image? For every element of A, B, suppose this is A, B, C, D, which element is connected to A? They are asking, right?
Okay, sir.
So there won't be a pre-image for 2.
All right. And rest of the questions we have solved for her.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Anna, what about you?
It's just last.
All right. I'll give you 2 more minutes.
Done, sir.
All right. What is the answer of the first part?
So 5.
5. And Fahad,
Yes. Fine.
let's see. F of x equals to 28. That means x square plus 3 should be equal to 28. So x square should be equal to 25. So x should be equal to plus minus 5. Right? Because 5 square is also 25, minus 5 square is also 25. And because they are saying f is from r to r, that means x can be any real number, negative or positive, right? Yes or no, Fahad and Nav?
Yes, yes.
So again, I'm telling you, do the steps, all right? Carefully solve the questions because we are just starting the chapter, right? If you like are in a rush, then it will be issue in the future. Pre-image of 39. So x square plus 3 should be equal to 39. So x square is 36. So x is again plus minus 6. There are 2 pre-images. This is clear, Fahad Anna?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And for 2, what we can do? X square plus 3 equals to 2. This implies x square is equals to minus 1. And this is not possible. So yes, no pre-images for 2. All right, it's not connected to any element. So please note it down. And next question. f is a function from R to R will be defined as follows. One if x is rational numbers, minus one if x does not belong to rational numbers. So first part, find f of half, f of pi, f of root 2, the range of f, pre-image of 1 and minus 1. All right, solve this question. And give me 2 minutes. I'll be back in 2 minutes. The question is clear to you, both of you?
Yes, sir.
All right. Have you solved this? Enough, Fahad, have you solved this? You guys awake or asleep?
Sir, I was not able to solve last part.
Last part. All right. Fahad, what about you? See, this type of functions are called step functions, right? What step functions? What they did is they broke the function into two functions, right? But they are not two functions. That is a single function. But they defined this in two domains, right? When x is rational numbers, when x is not rational numbers. So looking at domain, we are going to the output. What this means, let me explain in very simple way. Arnav, what do you like more, like samosa or kachori? You know samosa kachori, right?
Yes, sir.
Suppose you like samosa and pastries, right? And today in India, it's very like in Delhi, it's raining. So suppose you are in a mood to eat samosas, right? So would you go to a bakery or some namkeen shops? I don't know what happens in like Middle Eastern countries, but in India, right, we have many namkeen shops where they sell like samosas, kachoris, and etc. Right? So which shop would you go? Would you go to a shop which sells good samosas, or would you go to a bakery? Arnav, this question is for you.
Depends.
Depends. So you want to eat samosa. So where would you go?
Samosa.
Samosa. And if you wanted to have a pastry,
Bakery.
bakery, right? So why this? Because you already know to eat a good samosa, I have to go to a samosa shop. To eat a good pastry, I have to go to a bakery. So you are looking at the domain, right, and reaching the output, right? You are first looking at the domain, what you want, then you are deciding the output. Same with this function is looking at the domain first. What is x? If x is a rational number, then we are reaching to 1. If x is an irrational number, then the output is -1. This thing is clear? Because this type of functions you will face all your lifetime if you are moving in academics field, right? Like dependent on domain. All right, I hope this is clear. And now Fahad.
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
so now what is the first part? First part is f of half. Half is a rational or irrational number?
Rational.
Rational. So whenever x is rational, where would you reach?
1.
1.
1. So this must be equal to 1. Second part, what is the answer? F of pi
Minus.
-1, because pi is not a rational number. F of root 2
Minus.
-1.
-1. The fourth part is saying the range of f. So what values do we see f can get? What is the output of f?
-1 and 1.
-1 and 1. So range is -1 and 1. And fifth part, what are they saying? Pre-images of 1 and -1. Now, suppose, see, the codomain and domain are both real numbers. So in real number, we have -infinite to infinite, and somewhere we have -1 and 1 also. So what they are asking, the pre-images of -1 and 1. So what are the values connected with -1? If I ask you, what are the values connected with -1?
Pi and root 2.
Not in this. Look at the whole domain set, not the parts, question parts. Whole domain.
Huh.
What values in domain are real numbers are connected with -1? What values would you put in x where you get -1.
Irrational values.
Irrational values, right? They've given you this in the question itself. They are saying if x is irrational, then we are getting -1. So whenever you put x is a irrational number, you will get -1, right? So pre-image of -1 will be
All irrational numbers.
absolute right? All x which does not belongs to q. And again, pre-image of 1 will be
All x which belongs to Q.
all right. So this is your answer. Fahad, clear?
Yes.
All right. So please note it down. Again, we'll move ahead. Now a new thing. All right, note it down. Tell me when you are done. Done? Adnav, Fahad, done writing this?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
real function. Next topic is real function or real valued function. Now we have learned all about what is relation, what is function, domain, range, everything. Now we are looking into what are the types of functions we have in this world. What is real function? If there is a function f from a to b, then f is a real function if a and b are subset of R. Or very simple, if the domain and codomain, that means all the inputs and outputs are subset of real numbers. That means we get real numbers. Right? In this world, there are two kind of numbers: real numbers and imaginary numbers. Right? What are imaginary numbers? Where under root -1 comes. There is a chapter about this complex numbers in which we are going to learn about imaginary numbers. So what are real functions? Where the input and output we get are real numbers. All right. Simply that is called a real function. Is this thing clear? Yes or no? Adnav, Fahad, this thing is clear or not?
Yes, yes, it's clear.
So please note it down. All right. Now, what is the domain of real functions? How to find the domain of real functions? Right. In all the questions till now, they have given you f is from a to b. Now they will remove that. You have to look for what is the domain and what is the range. Right. Now the questions will come like this: find the domain, find the range. So how to find the domain of real function? Domain of real functions are all the real numbers for which f of x is a real value or a real number. What this means, all the values you can put in this function, all the values of x you can put in any function where the result, the output is also a real number. Let me give you an example by this. If I say y equals to x, right? Now you can put any value of x, right? There is no issue. But because this is a real function, if we put x equals to -5, so we don't know what happens when we put under root in -5, right? This is not a real number. So x cannot be equals to -5 in here. Is this thing clear what I'm saying? Enough, Fahad, this thing is clear or not?
So can you repeat and quite get it?
All right. See what they are saying. All the values of x you can put in here so that y is a real value, right? If you put x equals to 16, then you will get y equals to 4. So this is cool. Y is 4 is a real number. But if you put y equals to, sorry, x equals to -16, can you tell me what numbers can I multiply so that I can get -16 or square root of -16?
So 4 and -4.
So 4 and 4. See, under root. We are talking about under root. What number can I square so that I can get -16?
So no numbers.
No numbers, right? So y is not a real number. There is no number of y or no value for y in real number line where I would get x as -16, right? This thing is clear. If you put x equals to -16, we cannot get any value of y. So x cannot be -16. Is this thing clear or not? Now,
Yes, it's clear.
all right, let me give another example. If we have y equals to 1 upon x plus 1, if you put x equals to anything, right, we'll always get a real number. Put x equals to 5, x equals to 6, x equals to -5, x equals to -8, x equals to pi, whatever, y will always be a real value, right? Arnab and Fahad?
Yes, sir.
But if you put x equals to -1, what happens? 1 upon -1 plus 1. So 1 upon 0. What is 1 upon 0? Infinite. So is infinite a real value? Can we ever get infinite? Yes or no?
No.
Yes, sir.
No. No. How? Where is infinite? Nobody knows infinite, right, Anna?
No, sir.
Right. If you ever say 1 billion, 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 that is still a number. That is not infinite, because as soon as you define infinite, that is not infinite, right? So we can never get infinite. So x can never be -1. So domain of this function cannot include -1. This thing is clear or not? What I'm saying, domain of real functions? Yes or no? Enough, Fahad?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
All right. Very important thing. Very, very, very. You can put as many star marks as you want in this topic. Very important. All right. So from the next class, all the interesting things start. Find the domain, find the range of this and this and this. All right. So please note it down. This thing. Done, both of you?
No, sir, still right.
All right.